Okay, I want to start this video by making it very clear that this drive needs to be wiped anyway, and I am not worried about data loss if what I'm about to do requires the drive to be formatted. This may or may not work, and it's probably a bad idea. Do try this at your own risk. So what we are going to be doing today, we are here with our super awesome PS2, and I have been wanting to do this for a while. Today we are finally going to do it, and that is to put Windows 95 onto this system. Now, as you can see, I have 552 kilobytes of conventional memory free. To do that, I had to disable most of the TSRs that were running on this system, including the CD-ROM driver. But that is alright, because this version of Windows 95 is on floppy disk. Now, I have heard several people say that this is the second most excruciating experience you could possibly ever have involving a personal computer. The number one being installing Office from the 43 floppy disks, which I do plan to do at some time when I find a copy of it at a price that I am comfortable paying. For right now, we are going to install Windows 95. Now, for a refresher, this system does run Windows 3.1. However, as I will demonstrate, there is an error. Cannot find the device file that may be needed to run Windows in 386 Enhanced mode. You need to run the setup program again, which I already have. It did not fix the problem. So this drive needs wiped anyway. There's nothing on here that I am worried about. Now, I did already do a dry run to see if there was anything that was going to be a major issue that would negate even bothering to set up and start running this video, and in fact there is. So what I will be needing to do is going to be typing in a:/setup.exe/is, because Windows 95 does not like the way the hard drive is formatted, which doesn't make a lot of sense because this is an upgrade version from Windows 3.1 and it still uses FAT16, but it's something about it doesn't like LDA access. So using the IS setup, we'll skip ScanDisk and just begin the install procedure. We hope. We'll see. I have not tried it with the IS switch from Windows 95. I expect the installation to go okay, but I expect once Windows 95 gets installed, assuming that the installation completes and assuming that it runs, I expect to have some pain because I don't think any of my drivers will work, and I will end up having to source drivers, which will not be fun because there's absolutely nothing standard about this system. In theory, the drivers are already on the drive, but whether or not they will be usable is a whole nother story. I am mainly worried about the sound card and the XGA graphics adapter. We will have to see. I know Western Digital driver off of Lynx 386 worked and is presently loaded. No, it's not loaded. I took that out. It's not loaded because I needed that for conventional memory. We'll see if that driver works. This should have been a Cirrus Logic XGA chipset, but the Cirrus Logic driver did not work. The Western Digital driver did. So I've been told that when you get into these custom build systems, it's anybody's guess what IBM actually put in them. So 2 of the 3 diskette packets were unopened, so we know this has never been installed, and presuming that sorry, I'm looking at XT keyboards on eBay. I need a proper monitor and a Model M keyboard for this, and I need a Model F keyboard for the 5160, and both of these will be complete quote-unquote units. Need a power supply for a Model 56 too. Hey. End user license agreement 25 years later. It's been a while since I have installed Windows 95, and I have never done it from floppy disk. If Windows does not work, the drive's getting formatted. We're going to go ahead with typical. I don't think that actually has ever been used by anybody in the history of mankind. I'm saying, now that I think about it, there wasn't a CD. Well, I guess there wouldn't be a CD key because there is no CD, but there was no product key in this. While we're working here, to use Microsoft Windows 95, you need a personal computer with a 386DX or higher processor running the MS-DOS operating system version 3.31 or later and Windows version 3.0 or later or OS2 version 2.0 or later. 4 megabytes of memory with 8 megabytes recommended. A typical available hard disk space required is 35 to 40 megabytes. Actual requirements will vary based on features you choose to install. 1 3.5-inch high-density disk drive. A VGA or higher resolution graphics card. Optional, Microsoft mouse or compatible pointing device. Modem or fax modem. Audio card and speakers for sound. To access Microsoft Exchange and the Microsoft Network, you will need 8 megabytes of memory, 20 megabytes of additional hard disk space, and a modem. To get the full benefits of preemptive multitasking requires exclusive use of 32-bit Windows-based programs, such as those bearing the Designed for Windows 95 logo. Package contains a coupon for 5.25-inch high-density discs. Can you imagine what those would be worth today? Okay, yeah, I have got to search eBay for that. If those, like, even exist. Yeah, there are none on eBay. Yeah, there are no 5 1/4-inch Windows 95 discs on eBay. And hear that hard drive. That hard drive has not worked that much in the 10 years I've had this thing, I can tell you that. %. Yeah, we're not going to do any of these. Common components. Honestly, I probably should, but I don't know that Let me see. it's not booting to anything. Interesting. Well, we have a Windows 95 startup disk. Try it this way. And while we're waiting for it to load, I'm going to dig out my, hey, there we go, MS-DOS 6.22 disk 3, as well as the boot disk, as well as the diagnostic disk for the PS2. MS-DOS 6.22 disk 2. I would say that this is pretty well borked. So, I think what I'm going to do is end the video for tonight because it's getting late. And I think I have a CD image for Windows 95. I will burn a CD image. CDX. Is that there? No. Is that there? CDX. No. Do I not have it? I don't have a DOS editor anymore. Okay. I don't have a D drive, right? Nope. An A drive. Do I have MSCDEX on there? Nope. Okay then. Well, this is going to get very interesting. Apparently I'm being too loud. Okay, so this is really wrecked. To the point that the hard drive is out. So between DOS 6.22, Windows 95, and a Windows 98 boot disk, none of them can see more than 12 megabytes of available hard drive. Not on a partition, but 12 megabytes partitionable. And I'm 100% sure I have had this problem before. I do not remember what I did to correct it. That is still not correct. But I'm going to run with it for right now. So this is a 40 gigabyte hard drive. This motherboard should recognize 500 megabytes of hard drive space. So 125 is still not correct, but you know what, for right now it works, and it will at least get me somewhere. Now again, this is a play around with machine. This is not mission critical data or anything, so as long as I don't have any damage to the actual hardware in the system itself, I'm really not worried about issues with the hard drive. It's also really awesome because this is an IDE based system. I don't have to run the diagnostic diskette. The system really doesn't even pay any attention to the hard drive. As long as I have configured in the BIOS that it has a fixed disk, that's all it cares about. It does not care about anything else. It does not need to know that the CD drive is there. Technically, the computer doesn't even know that there is a drive on the second one. So, is it still in FAT12? I haven't formatted it yet, that might be why. Let's go back into FDisk and see. The reason I did it on the Windows 95 is because I don't want to format it in FAT32, I want to format it in just basic FAT16. Okay, so let's see what this one tells me. No partitions defined. .125 megabytes. Primary created. Set active to 1. Primary DOS. Unknown file system. I don't think it's going to do it. I still don't think it's going to do it. I think when I reboot, it's going to say nothing is there. I'm going to have to put this in another computer and partition it remotely. This time I'm going to save time and start without CD support. I'm going to bet that it didn't actually write anything to the drive. Well, going any farther is not going to happen right now because that's going to require pulling out and setting up another computer, and that's going to be just a giant pain. When I do that computer, I'm going to have a bunch of stuff that I want to do on it at the same time, and I just don't have enough time to set that up right now. So I've got some 5 1/4 discs that I need to back up, and I want to do that at the same time because that has my 5 1/4 drive. But I will bet you that it didn't save anything. Okay, well, I warned you at the start of this video, do not try this at home because I was pretty sure that I was probably going to mess this thing up, and it is royally messed up. So until next time, when we maybe fix it, we'll see.